Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day.
Welcome guys to Big Les Barbecue. Thanks for joining in. We're here today and we're going to be doing some chicken thighs. We're going to smoke them in our Kamado Kettle Joe and we're going to try for some competition style smoked chicken thighs. Now, I'm not a competitive barbecuer, I am the backyard barbecuer, but I'm going to give it a go and see if we can get that bite through skin that everyone raves about on the competition scene. So we're going to try a few tips and tricks to get our chicken thighs well ready for that bite through at the end of the cook. I'm going to start off with a kilo of chicken thighs. I'm going to trim them up and season them up. So I'll bring you in and let's have a look how we're going to trim these up. So I'm going to take our chicken thighs. You can see obviously the skin is loose. So what we want to try and do is get our fingers under that skin and we're going to start to peel that away from the thigh meat. If you're nice and gentle, it will just start to pull away. Try not to rip it, put any holes in it, because we want that skin to wrap back round on that meat. But we want to pull that back just so we can trim it up to make it that nice pillow shape. So as you can see, that's now cleaned off. There's a stream of fat down on this side and a couple of chunks here. So I've got my two knives. I've got my chef's knife ready for trimming the bone and my bone-in knife just for a nice sharp knife. Just take off any of them bits of fat. There's a seam of fat down here, look, so we'll take that off. So we're trying to make these nice and square. I'll just square that up just a little bit more. You can always keep any of the trimmings, reuse them in stir fries, making kebabs. Get into my big heavy knife and we're just going to trim off that knuckle at the end. Take that off. Make sure there's that see that piece of cartilage that's in there. Don't want that in the bite, so just going to get that knife in there and we'll get that cartilage taken out. There's a knuckle just there. Chef's knife, just trim that knuckle off. Whoops. Just makes it nice and flat so it's going to sit better. Starting to look nice and pretty. Run our knife along that edge. Make sure there's no tendons or unwanted bits underneath. Every thigh is going to be different, so you're just going to have to spend a little bit more time on certain thighs. And then this excess skin down the bottom that sits underneath that fat. Trim along that fat seam. You can remove that. And now that gives us that nice pillow of chicken thigh and that skin that's going to pull over the top. Just trim any excess pieces off. And then when we pull that skin back over and tuck it in, you make a nice pillow shaped chicken thigh. And by pulling it back, we'll just open that back up. That gives us the opportunity to get bags of seasoning in there. And today we're going to use one of my new finds, and it's a garlic and pepper mix. So it's 50-50 garlic granules and pepper. And we're going to use some Old Bay seasoning. I'm going to layer these flavours up. So underneath the skin, we're going to hit some of that garlic and pepper. Get some on that skin there as well. We'll pull it underneath, hit it with that garlic and pepper, and then we're going to come back through with the Old Bay seasoning. Whoops. Get that underneath all that skin. pat that back in, and then we're going to pull the skin over and tuck it round and shape it and form it like a nice little pillow. We'll set that in our pre-lined pan, and then we will season up the top. We'll set each one of these in. I'll get on with trimming these guys. I'll see you when it's the next stage of the cook. So there you go guys, beautiful little pillows of chicken thighs. We did have a little one at the end, but we've managed to get 6. Obviously if you're doing a competition, you'd do probably 4 times this, who knows, just to get the right amount of 6 to present. But there you go guys, that's my chicken thighs trimmed up and in our lined tray. We've got the skin up, and don't want to touch them anymore. We're going to leave them and we're going to smoke them the entire time in this pan. So we're going to hit the top now with some more of that garlic and pepper, and then our Old Bay seasoning. I could have transferred this into a shaker bottle. We're going to go over the top and build up that layer of flavour that is under the skin. So this is just that additional extra layer of flavour. But if you was in a comp, it's judged on 1 bite. So you need to get bags of flavour in that 1 bite. Seasoned up nice and beautiful. We've got approximately 6 tablespoons of butter, and we're going to pop them in and around these chicken thighs. And then the last thing to hopefully get that bite through skin, got some 1 cal spray, and this is butter flavour, and we're going to hit the top of these chicken thighs with that buttery 1 cal spray. We're going to leave this on the board while our barbecue comes up to temp. I have got that fired up now. Time to get these on the Kamado Kettle Joe. Great little smoker this. We've got the thighs in our tray as we said, and we're going to smoke this for the entire time in this tray. And this is going to roll now for an hour uncovered, rolling in that applewood smoke. We're going to pop that in the centre of our barbecue grate. We're going to pop the lid down. I've got the top vent set to just over 1 notch. It's about 1 1/4 notch. And the bottom vent is just over 1 1/2 fingers open. And that should hopefully bring that temp in nicely at the 275 degrees Fahrenheit. I will put the Celsius up above, but we're going to cook these now for an hour uncovered, and at that hour time we'll come back and wrap them up to finish them off. See you in an hour. Got my heat-proof gloves on and take out my chicken thighs. They're sat there in that buttery bath. We're going to cover them up now with a tin foil. We're going to pop them back in the barbecue, and we're going to take them up to an internal temp of around 195 degrees Fahrenheit, around 90 degrees Celsius internal temp, before we sauce them bad boys up and get ready to serve. So tin foil over the top. I'll squeeze that up and we'll get it back on the barbecue. Don't touch it now for about another 40 minutes, and that should be the perfect time to check the temp and see if we're ready for saucing. So while the chicken thighs are warming up, we'll take our barbecue sauce, and today we've got this Sauce Shop honey chipotle barbecue sauce, and just look at the colour of that, guys. I just thought that's going to be stunning. That's going to make an absolutely fantastic sweet sticky glaze on them chicken thighs. So when we're getting near to temp, we're going to just pop that in our cast iron pan. We'll stick it in the barbecue just so it starts to settle down, so that it'll glaze them chicken thighs up beautifully. So I'll transfer this into here, stick it in there, and hopefully it'll be time to sauce up very soon. I'm hungry now, guys. I bet you are too. So we've been 40 minutes, guys. I've got the barbecue sauce just warming up in the barbecue. I have cheated and tempted them before bringing them off, but they are at just over 190 degrees Fahrenheit internal temp, 90 degrees Celsius. So I'm going to pop them off and get them ready for saucing. I'm just going to let that sauce finish off warming up, and I shall get on my glove to keep my hands clean. Right guys, we have our saucing station set up. Chicken thighs in that beautiful buttery bath, nice and warm barbecue sauce, and then we've got a wire rack which we've just put on top of a chopping board just to keep my table clean, but that'll make it easier to transfer all these back into the barbecue to finish off setting up. You'll see, let's pop one of these bad boys out. They are really hot, beautiful and cooked. The sauce is now just to finish them off and make them look pretty. But we're going to get that sauce to cover right over the top of them and then lift them out. And there you are, guys, beautifully sauced up chicken thigh. These are super hot. We'll get these all sauced up. So you can see, guys, why I used that chopping board underneath, just to keep my board nice and tidy. Look at them beautiful glistening chicken thighs, and with that wire rack it makes it nice and easy. Just open up the grill, pop them back in, and we're going to only let them roll for another 10 minutes now until the sauce is set up. See you guys back in here in 10 minutes. 10 minutes has passed, guys. They look absolutely stunning. Got my handy heatproof glove on again. But here you go, guys. What do you think to them glistening chicken thighs? Just going to pop them on the board, cool down before we transfer them to present them to our judges, me, and maybe Dave and Buster if they come and turn up. But for now, we'll cool them down. See you when we're ready for the taste test. So there you have it, guys. My beautiful smoked chicken thighs presented up to you guys to judge, and for me, the chief taste tester, and Buster and Dave over there. The last thing that we've got to try and do, have we got that bite through skin? Fingers crossed, guys. I'll come in a little closer so you can see I'm not going to cheat. Beautiful chicken thigh. Here we go. It's going to be red hot in it. Oh my god, that is absolutely stunning. And as you can see, that is bite through skin. So I think what we set out to do at the beginning of this cook, we've achieved. They are super tasty, super juicy, and really, really pretty, guys. I'm going to take these inside, enjoy them with the family and the dogs. But for now, thank you very much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave me a comment, and if not, why don't you check out this video over here.